The question of the oil spill in the Gulf is simply a technological problem. They have the right backup systems and they're put in properly. This never would have happened. And so it's also not clear that I've been able to find out in the mainstream media for sure what that technological problem is. But it's a soluble challenge to have enough backup systems in case you have a failure. So engineers can solve that. It's obvious we didn't have the backup systems and they didn't work properly. Now the question is how do we solve the specific issue here with BP and this oil spill? We already have a system to solve that. That's a legal system. And there's going to be lawsuits for years and decades. And it's going to cost BP a lot. And they're going to learn something about this, and so will other producers. The one impediment we have in our legal system is everyone was whining and crying years ago to get rid of punitive damages. I testified before the Nevada State Legislature to retain punitive damages over 20 years ago. You can imagine, many states have limited them to pretty small numbers. And you can imagine the motivation that BP would have and the fear they would have if they were being sued for multiple lawsuits for punitive damages. The last issue here is deep sea drilling. And it relates, we're doing super deep sea drilling now because we can't get oil other places. So that goes back to the whole issue of energy independence and oil independence. And I don't have enough time, I'm sure we'll talk about that in my remaining few seconds, but I'd like to talk about that later because that is solvable. And I think I can help you understand that. Thank you. Well, I'm not aware of any specific legislation that's been proposed. I haven't studied any of it. Like I said earlier, I think the legal system, if we have punitive damages, will cover this in spades. I'm an attorney, I happen to be an attorney, I'm not ashamed of it, I'm proud of what I did. I was involved in punitive damages on both sides, and let me tell you, companies, they care about it. And the punitive damages should be back for just this type of conduct. I think it's crazy to try and solve everything by more laws, more legislation, and making our lives more complex. So I don't know, maybe there's a good piece of legislation out there, but we can find who had the responsibility, who made the errors, and hold them accountable through the legal system.